Hello and welcome to another instalment of brook fishing. We haven't had any rain for a while, and so the brook that I'm on is extremely sluggish. In fact, the flow is very minimal indeed. I'm quite close to the source as well, just a few hundred yards away to be precise, so it's oddly deep and fast flowing anyway at the best of times. But I've just cast out, and I'm hoping to do business with a species that has become particularly special in recent weeks, the three-spined stickleback. I needed my glasses to unhook this because it did actually take the maggot and the hook just inside the mouth though, so easy enough to remove. That fish has now returned. Let me show you my setup. It's a mini rod and reel, poacher's pocket, and I've got 4-pound line on the reel, and I've got 1 pound 6 ounce loop to loop. It's quite tight here, I'm getting tangled all the while. And I've got a shot which is a good 12 inches away from the maggot there, so the shot sinks. I need that to cast because it's quite tight and you can't really flick a bait out without the weight, but that'll sink and then that will float down naturally. And it's working. As I say, it's really tight, lots of branches and vegetation that you get caught on. But what I'm doing is I'm actually watching the maggot, and immediately it's gone in there, and I must have 10 just tiny sticklebacks around it. They're not going to take the bait at all, but what they will do is they will encourage the bigger ones to come in. That's the plan. And there's nothing like competition for food, is there, to get the fish to feed. In fact, I've got a dog, a Bedlington Terrier, and she's really fussy with the food. We've also got a parrot, a little conure called Stormy. And when Twinkle won't eat her food, all I have to do is lift the bowl up, take it to the parrot and say, "Come on, Stormy." And she jumps up me and gets me to put it down, and she eats it because there's competition. And in a similar way, that's what I'm doing today. And whenever we fish, it's a similar principle, isn't it? I've just tried a little bit further downstream, as it were, just a metre or so. I haven't got much water in front of me, but it's all about getting your bait out there and watching. I'm going to have to look over the vegetation there actually, so I'm going to disappear for a while. It's a second fish there, and much bigger than the opener. This one is not only the third stickleback, it's a three-spined stickleback, as indeed they all are, but it's also the biggest. That's quite a specimen when you consider the brook that it's come from. I have returned to work this week. I've done a number of interviews so far, and if you're interested in football, check out my site, because I've got interviews on there, although they're not on my YouTube channel, because I've taken them from the club channel. The first interview is with a player who started at Wrexham. He made a number of appearances for the first team. His first one came while Dean Keats was the manager, against Bromley, the National League. And then the second interview, I'm getting a few sticklebacks, one every time, but they're just very small, coming off as I'm lifting. And the second interview was with a player from Liverpool who spent 8 years at the Liverpool FC Academy. Then he made his first team debut with Wigan Athletic. Now he's at the New Saints, and I've just caught my 4th fish of this short session. If you do blog regularly like I do, you'll probably find that your blog site evolves. I've often said, and you'll be aware anyway, if you were there from the early days, but mine started as a weekly, every Saturday post, and it was 100% fishing. And then I started to incorporate other things in, as you do, and then I started to think I've got a lot going into the posts, so I'll do one in the week. That became one every day, and sometimes 2 or 3 even every day. I'm just taking a pause while I present the next fish, a small one this time. It's now gone back. Where was I? Yeah, the evolution of a blog. I think probably where I'm at the moment is that I do post every day, and it's pretty much my own adventures in life. And I would say it's more of an online diary. I don't know if you ever wrote a diary as a kid. I think we all did, especially my generation. And I used to write things I'd been up to, including fishing. I had fishing diaries that go way, way back to the 1970s. There's another fish there. It's a tiny one, but I'm going to hold it up so you can actually see the spines because it's showing well. And there they do. There they go. They drop. But I've always liked writing and sharing my thoughts, and like those diaries we used to write when we were kids in the 60s and 70s in my case. They were just for your personal use. In fact, you didn't necessarily want anybody else to read them. Oh, this is a nice one. And that's where I'm at now. My blog page is pretty much an online diary, and it's my own personal thoughts which I like to look at, because they're memories, aren't they? And I'm just basically opening it up for people to come and join me. As the title suggests, welcome to my world. And that's the fish I've just caught, a nice one. Especially, as I've already said, from a small brook like this. The next fish is a male. Still got the breeding colours there. Look great, don't they? Back to the thoughts on blogging though. I've even thought wouldn't be bothered if I made mine private and just kept it for myself. Not that I necessarily want to do that, but I'm finding, as I say, it's now become more of a diary. I'm not bothered about clicks and popularity. I do like to look back on it. I'll often go and type things in and have a little look and relive some memories. For example, this year we have 3 holidays in North Wales at Talabont. We've only been able to have one due to the coronavirus situation. So what I was doing the other day was typing in Talabont and Barmouth in the search engine, and I was able to just look at some of the old videos. I take a lot of scenery and the sea, the mountains, the hills, etc. I was able to look at some of those videos and just read some of the text and relive some of the memories, as I've already mentioned. And my granddaughter loves to go on. When she stays with us, she's often on the phone, on my wife's phone, and she types Naya, that's her name, in the search engine. And then I find her watching a video where she caught her first fish, for example. In fact, the search engine on my site is good. So if you are interested in the mini species, sticklebacks, type those words into the search engine and you'll get every blog that I've ever published, which is in total quite a few. blogging since 2003, July, so I'm in my 18th year of blogging. It evolves, as I say, and if you're a blogger, you'll find that's true, no doubt. If you're thinking of blogging and you don't know where to start, where to pitch it, don't worry about that, because go for it and it will automatically find its own feet anyway. Why not check out the site? And there is a follow button, so you can get the updates as they're posted. And also, as I've said, almost had a fish on there. There's a very good search engine, so if you are an angler, which I think most of the people who go on my site are, then you can type in River Severn barbel fishing, day tickets on the River Severn, something like that, and you'll get lots of hopefully useful and relevant information. Oh, and another one, that's another nice fish. I tell you what, these sticklebacks were slow to get going, and I'm not putting any bait out there, but what I am doing is creating a commotion with the smaller fish, and that's brought the big ones in. I don't know where they were, because they do hide very, very well. Nice little stickleback, that one, isn't it? Its tail's twisting, looks good. As always, that was very enjoyable. I caught 18 fish in the end. Talking of blogs, if you do head across to my site, then you can also drop a comment beneath each entry as well. You don't need to register or enter your details, just put your name, and you don't even need to put your name, but it's nice to know who you're talking to, and then just enter a comment on there. I hope to see you on the other side, and if you are out fishing yourself, whether it's for 3-spined sticklebacks in a tiny brook, or maybe you're out on the ocean, enjoy, and above all, appreciate the wider, wonderful world of nature that's out there.